I'm Dr. K and welcome to another Micro Monday. Now, we've been doing a lot of filming outside in the garden, but it's not such a nice day today, so I brought you into the studio to be able to talk about something else. So today we're considering the human microbiome, those things that live on and in us naturally. As Phoebe's already said, some of those can go bad and become opportunistic and actually cause disease in people. Some of them are commensals in that they just live on us, a bit like animals living on a coral reef. Now, with your human microbiome, you're never alone. The human body's colonised by millions and trillions of organisms. In fact, there's about 1.5 bacteria per human cell in your body. Now, even on the skin, there is about 10 to the 12 organisms living on there. That's 10 with 12 zeros. That's an absolutely amazing number of things living on your skin right now. But it's not just bacteria and things that live on your skin. There's a whole variety of things that live on your skin. Because remember, you're never alone. And what I want you to do is just have a little look at this. That is Demodex folliculorum, and that is the human hair follicle mite. And everybody watching this video right now is colonised with this organism. It lives in the little hair follicles, right at the bottom of your hair follicles, where it eats the substance that sometimes the glands in these follicles make, called sebum, and that's that sort of the oily feeling stuff that you get on your skin and the back of your neck and your ears and things like that. Now, the adults colonise your body shortly after birth, right? And that's most often from your parents. And they go through a life cycle that takes about 14 to 16 days, where the adult comes along and lays eggs into the hair follicle, into that sebaceous gland it's called, that makes this sebum, that sort of waxy, oily substance. Then a larvae hatches inside your hair follicle, and this is happening to everyone right now. And by the time you get to old age, you're described as being infested with these organisms. And as I said, this is going on right now. They can be found mostly on your face, on your forehead, sometimes in ears, things like that, or even on chest hair. Right? And skin actually is a very interesting thing. And I think what we could do is try and have a go at finding some of these pretty gross looking creatures on mine. But first of all, we're going to need a sample to look at. And I might just, so I've got some samples for us to look at down this microscope that I've got here. So let's have a look what the human skin looks like under the microscope, and then see if we can see any Demodex mites. Let's have a look at what the human skin looks like. This is my skin, okay, and you can see it's made up of like this crazy paving type stuff, and the sort of scales of my skin, they're called squamules. And the skin's absolutely an amazing thing. It's a bit like, for an invading organism like a bacteria, it's a bit like the moon. It's very, very dry, and organisms don't like that. All right, they like a little bit of damp. And it's actually quite acidic. It's about pH 5, between 5 and 6. And those organisms that like to cause disease in people, it's slightly alkaline. All right, so they like it about pH 7.5 or thereabouts. And actually, your skin is also very salty. So if you gave yourself a little lick while you're watching this video on the arm or something like that, if you're nice and clean, you will see that, or rather you will taste that it is very salty. And that's one of your defense mechanisms. That keeps most things out of the way. Now, you can see, of course, I've got hair follicles. I've got hairs coming out of my arm. And those hair follicles are where Demodex would colonise. Now, this is the skin on my arm, all right? And so let's have a look at the skin on my face. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, now, let's have a look. Focus in. Oh, it's been pesky. Let's see if we can find a nice bit. There we go. Oh yes, look at that. See, there is my face skin. And you can see that's a bit shinier. It's not quite as hairy. Okay, it's not quite as hairy. All right, and we can see all sorts of things coming out of here. Now I've had a shave today. So, you know, and so you can see little bit of redness there. Okay, little bit of redness. And look, here's some hair follicles. You can see where I chopped them when I've had a shave. And it is down those hair follicles that Demodex will live. And if I could pull one of these out, I would. It would really hurt. And it would show that we had some Demodex mites, because I will be colonised by them, definitely, as an adult. And indeed, a lot of people who watch, well, everyone who's watching this will be colonised too. One of the places it does grow is in your eyelashes. Now, these are my eyelashes. Oh. And sometimes the little adults poke their little leggies out. Oh, that's my eyeball. Let's have a look. It's difficult, very difficult, this bit, because it's very bright. Try that. No, we're not getting a good picture there. Interesting though, isn't it? Wow. Okay, so you can see my eyelashes there. And sometimes you can get like an infestation of these things, and they stick out. Oh, there we go. That's a nice picture. They stick out. Now, the Demodex will be right in there, right down that shaft of that hair there. God, that's gross, isn't it? Now then, right, so I did get some hair earlier on, as you saw in the video. And so let's have a look at some human hair and see if we can see some Demodex at the end, because I think I've pulled out one of the roots of one of the hairs. So let's have a look. See if we can get that in the picture. There it was. This is quite difficult with used to using your standard microscope. It's a bit more difficult with this. There we go. See if we can put that down. Oh, it keeps moving. See, science can sometimes be a fickle subject. There we go. Let's have a go at that. Okay, so you can see I keep coming across the hair. There he is. Okay, and you can see the root at the end there, and just adhering to the end might be some Demodex mites. Now, we haven't quite got the magnifying power, I don't think, to actually see the mites properly. And you know, so I'm not going to say they are there, but they possibly could be, and they would be sticking to the end of that hair somewhere. And if I had a higher powered microscope, we could look, and I'm sure they would definitely be there. Okay, so we didn't see any Demodex today, and that's really probably because the microscope we were using wasn't powerful enough. But if I got a more high power microscope, I'm sure I would see some of those tiny larval mites gripping onto the end of the hair I so horribly pulled out of my own body. Remember, with the human commensal flora, your normal human microbiome is keeping you healthy every day, but importantly, you're never lonely. See you later. Bye bye.